Hello everyone, welcome back. I am here in upstate New York. I'm on vacation. Been on vacation for about 11 days now. I am visiting family and friends. I've got a lot of family here in upstate New York, the Italian side of me, which is my father's side. It's a beautiful area, much better than the West Coast where I am. I'm here to talk to you guys about the Scott Peterson case. You guys know that I talk about crimes and body language and things like that. Now, I'm here to tell you guys that Scott Peterson killed his wife, okay? I know that not only because I've been studying the case for many months. It wasn't a case that initially interested me. So it's not something that automatically drew my attention when it first happened, but I started to study it because there was a subscriber that asked me to do so. Now, the reason why I say that he killed his wife is not only because I have studied much of the case, but because I had a dream. And when I have dreams, they are most of the time, okay, premonitions, almost all of the time. They are sort of a premonition type of dreams that maybe you would have to tell you the answer to things, give you the answer to certain things that you're asking about, or they would be dreams that would be deja vus. I wouldn't know where I was or what was going on in the dream, but later on in my life, it happens that way. And things that I would dream also do always come true a lot. So this is just something that is in my bloodline. There are a few other people that have this gift or whatever you would like to call it. I couldn't even shut it off if I wanted to. Scott Peterson killed his wife, and I had a dream. It was a very quick flash, and I didn't see how he killed her, but I believe it was her torso, and I saw it wrapped in something or covered in some type of way, and he was on his boat out in the water, and it was in his boat, and he started to throw it overboard, or he started to maybe pick it up and move it, or do something with it, handle it in some type of way. And there were like two pieces maybe I saw in his boat. So we do know that we found Lacey Peterson's torso, right? I think that was what I saw, okay, was her torso. And he started to lift it up. I didn't see if he threw it over the water yet, water or not, because my dream ended really abruptly. I had this dream after I was questioning whether or not he was guilty. Is he guilty or not? Is he guilty or not? And then I waited a long time. I didn't wait for the dream, but I waited because I wanted to make sure about any premonition or feelings that I had, okay? So when I had the dream, that was my assurance, okay? I really don't care if anybody chooses to believe it or not. There are a lot of people who don't even have dreams when they go to sleep at night. They see nothing. And they say, I don't know how you remembered your dreams. I see nothing when I'm asleep or whatever. It doesn't bother me if you don't want to believe it. It's fine with me. You don't know me, and I don't know you, okay? But this is for the people who actually believe in that. Believe in people who have stronger intuition, or, you know, are able to have dreams almost like a seer would or something, okay? He killed his wife. I saw the body in his boat. Not sure if he threw her overboard exactly where I saw him on the water. It was a very quick flash of the dream, and it was something that I had to remember when I woke up. And actually I really didn't have to remember it. It stayed with me. I'm not sure if any of you guys have had dreams like that before, to the answers to certain things, or you'll have dreams of things and then they'll come true. But it has nothing to do with being a psychic or being mystical. or being some type of wizard or witch or something. It's just something that is either in your heritage or not. How beautiful is it? If you listen to the way that Scott Peterson has a sigh or a whistle, whatever you want to call it, of relief when he listens to the voicemail, I believe it's the Lacey Peterson's mother that calls and leaves a voicemail that says, you know, the body that we found, the body that the police found, is not Lacey's. Then he goes, you know, if you go back and you listen to that, that is an expression of relief. It's not going, oh my gosh, thank goodness it wasn't my wife. I'm so grateful for that. Now we still have a chance to find her because it wasn't her. Oh, it was more of a, oh, damn, that's good for me. Holy crap, that was a close one. That's what it was. Go back and listen to it. Maybe I'll play it. I'm gonna cut the video for a second. I'm gonna play it for you guys. Listen to it. Listen to the difference between the oh my gosh, I thought it was my wife, or the good, I escaped that one. Listen to this and you tell me whether it sounds like a sigh of guilty relief that his wife's body wasn't found yet, or does it sound like a sigh of relief because his wife may still be out there and be alive and there may still be hope? Which one does it sound like?
It was a boat anchor. Of course, we knew it wasn't Lacey, but I just wanted you to know. I'm going to call your house in case you don't get this message. Ron Cloward, he's at Marina, and it was a boat anchor. Of course, we knew it wasn't Lacey, but I just wanted you to know. I'm going to call your house in case.
Man, that was close. I have a problem with Scott Peterson calling Amber Fry during Lacey Peterson's vigil and saying that he was in Paris at the Eiffel Tower. Not only do you not do that, whether or not you killed your wife or not, you don't do that, okay? So what I have a problem with is, to me, he said that he was in the Eiffel Tower and in Paris. It was almost like, to me, Paris and the Eiffel Tower are kind of like a romantic place that represent almost like freedom and romance and, you know, love and things like that. So to me, in his mind, he was now free. I'm in Paris in my mind, or psychologically. It was something that he said that he didn't realize had a psychological component behind it, but it did, because it was like saying, now I'm free. I'm in Paris. I'm at the Eiffel Tower because my wife is gone. Look, Amber Fry, now we can be together. Something else about the spirit of Paris that I feel is that it represents new romance. Scott Peterson wanted a new life with Amber Fry. He ran to Mexico and dyed his hair blonde because he's guilty. He's trying to get out of the country and take his money with him before the police catch up to the body. That's what's going on there. That is very obvious. There's no looking at that and going, well, there might be another explanation. That's what that is. I don't like Scott Peterson's body language. It's too controlled for me. And not only is it too controlled, but it is annoyed. It's controlled and annoyed. So when I said that the Ramseys have good control of their body language is more controlled and bothered by what people who don't know them say about them. frustrated because they want to figure out how it is that they can work with the police department or whoever correctly so that they can they'll be able to find the killer. So that's the difference between Scott Peterson's body language and the Ramseys. They both have a sense of control over their body language. However, Scott Peterson is not only controlled, he's too controlled, and he has too much of an annoyance with that control. He kept telling you to focus on finding Lacey. How come you guys are focused on me? Go out there and find Lacey. I just want people to focus on finding my wife. He said that as almost a reverse psychology. Hey, listen, I didn't do it. I am focused on my wife. You guys aren't. I am more concerned about my wife than you are. Can you please help to find her and stop focusing on me? Because he actually didn't want everybody to focus on him. And it was a sort of a reverse psychology, saying, can you please look at her? What's wrong with you people not looking at her and looking at me? It's to direct attention away from herself. It's a complete reverse psychology that he pulled there. There's an interview that Scott Peterson had with a reporter, and the phone rings when they're talking. You can hear it. He does not go to answer the phone. He lets the phone ring for about 20 seconds, does not go to answer it. It is not bothering him. And when he goes to answer it, he's only going to turn the phone off so he doesn't have to hear the annoying ring. Isn't somebody whose wife is missing and you are terribly concerned for her safety going to answer any phone call, no matter what the call is, no matter what the phone number shows? You're desperate. You're looking for your wife. All he does is turn the ringer off. Because he already knows what happened to his wife. He makes sure that his hands have zero movement. So he keeps his hands on his thighs during this interview that I was talking about, where he doesn't answer the phone. Keeps his hands firmly placed on his thighs so that he doesn't show if they are sweating. He wants to be very controlled, and he's making a conscious effort. When there are too many coincidences and everything's too circumstantial, it's actually not a coincidence at all. Similarities between the Watts case and the Peterson case. Both women were pregnant with boys. Both men were having an affair. Both men wanted another life. Both men claimed to be somewhere else at the time of the murder. Both women were having their first boy. Both possibly smothered. Both men had 5 letters in their first name. Both murderers' parents think their son is innocent or that there is more to the story. Watts and Peterson are both English surnames. In the year 2002, when Lacey Peterson was killed by her husband, the population of Modesto, California was 201,620 people. You mean to tell me that you don't think that there was a pregnant woman walking around looking just like Lacey or very similar? Lacey's not of mixed race and she doesn't have a unique look. Any woman walking around with brown hair and a pretty smile and a pregnant stomach could have been her. And walking a very common dog as well. This is a rare case of circumstantial evidence convicting the right person. We don't see that very much. But Lacey had such a strong spirit that she made sure that the right person, which would be her husband, was convicted for a crime that he committed but couldn't necessarily be proven. We don't like to convict on circumstantial evidence here in the United States, but it's good we did on this case, and it is the correct conviction. Isn't that a little bit too lucky to not want a wife and kid anymore, want a new life, have that sick wish, and for it to actually come true. And now your pregnant wife is missing. And then you learn that she's deceased. Actually, you probably have more luck at winning your state lottery. That's too much of a coincidence. Scott Peterson is a little bit like this cat. He looks cool and he presents himself well, but if he doesn't like something or doesn't want something anymore, you're done. He killed Lacey during the night because, of course, we know that she was alive the day before, and he did it quietly. He did it very quietly. So he either strangled her or smothered her, something like that, something to that effect. It was really quiet, it was really sneaky, and he took care of most of what he had to do for the body during the night hours, and that's a long span of time. And he's very sneaky, he's very subtle, and he thinks he's smart. He actually thinks he's smarter than law enforcement, and that's why he was caught, even with circumstantial evidence, because that energy came back around to him. Now, he is very cunning, and he's the type of person who would have killed the second wife had he gotten away with killing the first. So Amber Fry would have been another victim of his. How ironic is it that Amber Fry's last name is Fry? Because she sure did fry Scott Peterson. And it was some other lady who Scott Peterson was going after and pursuing, and that woman introduced Scott to Amber. So it was meant for Amber Fry to come into Scott Peterson's life to fry his butt. Now, if your name rhymes with Stacy or Lacey, which we know about the Stacy Peterson case, but if your name rhymes with Stacy or Lacey, I would go ahead and think twice and watch yourself before marrying somebody with the last name Peterson. I have a real problem with the hair inside of the pliers, Lacey's hair inside the pliers, because I don't care how much you live with somebody or how much you interact with somebody on a daily basis, the hair doesn't have to end up in the pliers. Also, the concrete blocks that Scott made had no holes in them for ropes, and they didn't have any ropes attached. So they weren't boat anchors. They were weights to weigh down a dead body. Scott was the one who told the officers that the dog was found in the backyard with the leash on. He brought that to the officers' attention on purpose to establish more of an alibi for himself and make it look as though something may have happened that had nothing to do with him. The same way that Chris Watts made sure to do some online shopping and browsing at a certain time and date to make it look like Shanann was alive and was on the internet, was the same way that Scott Peterson made sure to do some online shopping and browsing to make it look like Lacey was still alive at a certain time and date. It's not that hard to figure out what a sex or demographic would be looking for online. The baby's due date, Connor's due date, was February 10th, 2003. Now, if you know anything about Chinese numerology, you know that that adds up to a bad number. Because 2 plus the 1 in 10 plus the 2 and the 3 in 2003 add up to the number 8, which is a bad luck number, just like the one on this building. 4 plus 3 equals 7 plus 1 equals 8. Warning, carbon dioxide gas. Connor's nursery was set up before he was born, which some people will swear is bad luck. And Scott was assembling a saw in his warehouse which he swore was for work, but was actually to cut Lacey's body up. There is no reason for someone who isn't involved in a crime and doesn't know anything to lie about being on a boat fishing in a body of water. If you're innocent, then you have no idea that the water that you are fishing in is sinister or implicating you in anything. Lacey actually got sick when her and Scott went on their first date together. Deep sea fishing. How ironic. This was a sign, a warning to Lacey of impending doom. The date was on water because they were deep sea fishing. And she ended up dying and being thrown into a sea. We can find many instances in our lives and in the lives of others that sooner or later become foresight or hindsight that we did not pay attention to when they were happening, because we didn't have all of the pieces of the puzzle yet. We were unable to put the pieces of the puzzle together. The police officers had a feeling or premonition to go ahead and record Scott's initial interview with him when they first arrived at the house. Now, this is not something that they normally did back in the year 2002 when Lacey was killed. But thank goodness that they followed their premonition, because it was correct. Follow your instincts when they're very strong. All right, everyone. So that concludes my video. As you can tell, the ending part of my video was actually filmed in downtown LA. And the beginning was filmed in upstate New York when I was visiting my family. If you guys want to see more pictures from my visit to upstate New York, go ahead and follow my Instagram in the description below. And I just posted some pictures there. Now, as always, I welcome discussions and comments here in my video. I always try to respond to the comments and to respond to you guys' questions and everything like that. So thank you for subscribing. Enjoy, like, and share.